All right, let's go into some cubes. So the first one was really easy. X minus 4 plus 1 equals 2. In fact, I don't know of anybody who actually did miss this one. But in a sense, isolate the radical first, so I need to get rid of this plus 1. I'm going to subtract 1 on both sides. I get the cubed root x minus 4 equals 1. Now I cube both sides. That undoes the cubed root. X minus 4 equals 1 cubed is just 1, giving me x is 5. And you could plug that in and see it does work. When you have a cubic, you're always going to have a solution. Okay? A cubed root always has a solution. So no solution does not work on cube roots. All right. Next one. This was a very common one that was messed up too. It's kind of like the square root one, only with a cubed root now. 3x minus 4 equals negative 3. Okay? Two ways you can do this. You can cube both sides first, or you can divide by 2. I had some people subtract the 2. You can't subtract the 2 because you're multiplying. Okay? So I'm going to do the dividing by 2 route first. Okay? This gives me the cubed root of 3x minus 4 equals negative 3 halves. I'm going to cube both sides now since the radical is isolated. I get 3x minus 4 equals, if I'm cubing a fraction, I cube the top and the bottom. Negative 3 cubed is negative 27. 2 cubed is 8. I'm going to add 4. So 3x equals negative 27 over 8 plus 4. Dividing by 3 on both sides. When you end up typing this into your calculator, you will get something as a decimal. So this is going to be x equals, if you were to simplify it all the way fraction-wise, you would get 5 over 24, which this is approximately 0.208. Okay, so that's the decimal form. If you were to just type this whole thing into your calculator, you'd get that. Or if you were to just make it a fraction, you would get 5 over 24. Okay, so the important part is you can either cube both sides first, but you'll need to cube that 2, or you can divide by 2 first, and then cube both sides. Okay, so 2 ways you can do that. I would prefer dividing by 2 first. Okay. One that a lot of people missed, but it's actually probably one of the easier ones on the whole cubed root side. I've got cubed root of x cubed minus 3x squared plus 2. This was purposely picked to make it relatively easy because the cubes actually cancel out. Okay, so I've got the radical isolated. Okay, I'm going to cube both sides now. Okay, so I get x cubed minus 3x squared plus 2 equals x cubed. Subtracting x cubed on both sides just cancels them out. So I get 3x squared negative 3x squared plus 2 equals 0. Okay, from here, it's simply just solving a quadratic like we do normally by just solving for x. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite it up here so I have room. So now I just want to get x by itself. I'm going to subtract 2. So I get negative 3x squared equals negative 2. Dividing by negative 3 on both sides gives me x squared equals 2/3. If I want to get rid of the square root, or the squared, I square root both sides. Okay? And I add a plus or minus when I do that. So x equals plus or minus the square root of 2/3. That's the exact answer. It's roughly 0.816 if you were to type it in. So from there, cube both sides because the radical's isolated, solve for x, square root. And that does give you a plus or minus. And both of those answers do work when you plug them back in. It's one of those that you do get 2 answers out just because of the x squared on the inside. Okay, last one is actually really, really easy. X plus 4 inside the cubed root equals the cubed root 4x plus 7. Okay, similar to the quadratic, I've got 2 cubed roots on both sides. There's nothing else outside of them. I'm just going to set the insides equal to each other. Okay, this is 4x plus 7. So x plus 4 equals 4x plus 7. I'll subtract x from both sides, giving me 4 equals 3x plus 7. And subtract 7 over, giving me negative 3 equals 3x which is x is -1. And that answer does work. Okay? If you have only the root left on both sides, nothing else, you could put the insides equal to each other to get an answer out. And that's just a linear equation with variables on two sides. That's it. Okay. That was basically going through one of the quizzes. I encourage you to look at more videos online. There's plenty of them out there for solving radical equations if you need extra help for them. But basically the problems that look like that will probably be the problems that may show up on Thursday, except they will be obviously different numbers and formatted differently. So general form of those will be pretty consistent until Thursday, so make sure you're well aware of them.